Shalawam, Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalawam to elect out there, doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. Right, I want to get into a brief voiceover, brief commentary, upon the video in which the brother Yashawamba put up, Pharmekia, live the last days, hitting things of Esau, and this is a great video of edification, for brothers to look at, if you haven't looked at it already, just getting into the technicalities of what Esau truly does with these medicines and his witchcraft and, the level of power that he is given in wickedness, as we know it within his current time frame, man, and when you look at it, the masses of the people, take these pharmaceuticals, to be of nature. That's what because that's all they know. They take these things to be as of actually some benefit to them, and people have become so accustomed unto these things that they don't know anything else. Therefore, when you bring up something natural to them, as an alternative to a lot of these wicked poisons in which they're putting in their body, it's foreign to them. They can't comprehend it, man. Our people of today truly have that microwave mentality. Oh, the herbs take too long. Oh, this tea tastes nasty. This is that and a third. And which goes to show you that how much of the vibration that Esau has and the stronghold that over our people's mind that Esau has on our people, man. And it's just completely ridiculous. But this video was great as far as showing the technicalities of the wicked potions in which Esau puts out there to have the masses of the people dumbed down, according to the vibration, that they're trying to push to have the world in a complete and utter chaos, man. But real quick, this is the book of Job, chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So we know, getting into the scripture, this is referring to, the time period, of Esau, these Edomites ruling, that the Most High has set up appointed time for this kingdom to be destroyed. But when you look at the second half of this verse, thou has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass, and you apply this on a fold, what the Most High has appointed a certain bounds in which Esau wasn't supposed to pass, or our people in general are supposed to pass. And that's what dealing with these pharmaceutical drugs. Because as the Edomite that was narrating this video during the voiceover, he was getting into how all of these different drugs, they have certain chemicals in them which create a psychedelic or spiritual or effect upon people, to where people are using them purposely, to feel that feeling of euphoria, to feel that great high, to astral project, so on and so forth, which is all at the end of the day wickedness. Now, Paul had an out-of-body experience, but he didn't purposely induce that. When you have these people of today using these different pharmaceutical drugs and just drugs in general to try to create that effect, you're actually crossing the bounds of which you're not supposed to pass, because you're crossing over into the spiritual realm. Within this current time frame, the Most High, in the physical, the Most High only meant for us to be on this terrestrial plane, not for us to purposely try to astral project and cross over into, the spirit world, okay? And when you look at it through the spirit, that's why you have a lot of people, like when you look at the new drug they got out, Flocka, and you see people looking like zombies, running in the cars, banging their heads, you see just in general, people bugged out, talking to themselves, so on and so forth, from these different drugs. That's ultimately because, they have crossed over into that spiritual realm, And by doing that, the Most High allowed them demons within the spiritual realm to actually attack them and to bug them out, man. For doing that, that's the payback in which the Most High, YAHAWASHI, grants unto the people for doing this wickedness, man. Because it's nothing but witchcraft, man. And Esau knows this at his finest. That's why he purposely puts these things out there for people to destroy themselves, man. And just like when you go into real quick, this is the book of Isaiah 24:18. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. So it says, for what? The windows from on high are open. Okay, that's what Esau cutting a layer into the atmosphere, putting their satellites and their junks, their gun machines, their gun nests up in there, to try to fight the Lord, YAHAWASHI, when he comes back. Now, the Most High did give them the power to do so, but technically they're trespassing. That's why the Most High purposely put that firmament to divide the waters from the waters, to divide this terrestrial plane of heaven from the outer heavens. That's why the Most High purposely did that. But that shows you what that Esau crossed that certain boundary. Okay, just as I was getting into, them crossing that boundary of what these psychedelic drugs, so on and so forth. And it's a good documentary, that brothers can check out, on YouTube, called DMT, which is that methyltryptamine, in which, this Edomite that was narrating, he mentioned tryptamine. And you have Jake down there in South America, I believe, of the tribe of Asher, that gets into using certain potions, and certain things of the earth that contain a high level of that dimethyltryptamine, so they can purposely, feel that feeling of euphoria, that psychedelic feeling, and so that they can purposely astral project. It's a great documentary for brothers can check out to see the level of vibration of wickedness that our people are on. And when you see the natural things and you compare it unto the modern medicine of Esau, you see how the two go hand in hand. Because in order, brothers always say, in order to tell a lie, you must know the truth. So Esau, knowing the truth of certain herbs and natural medicines of the earth that YAHAWASHI put out there, they mix all of that with their wicked potions to make it one, man. To create a negative effect upon the people. Have people strung out, so on and so forth, and thinking that their medicines are actually the way to go, when it's not the way to go, So real quick, this is the book of Psalms 64 and 6. They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. So what? They accomplish a diligent search, because it takes a lot of them testing, in them different labs, them praying, putting up the evil magic for them to get these potions right, man. And it said what? Both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep, meaning they take great time to meditate upon these things, to put out to the masses of the people. Like you have a lot of these modern medicines, like, a lot of these statin drugs, which are supposed to lower cholesterol. But when it happens, when you take a lot of these statin drugs, they do one thing, but they cause harm to the body in another way. Like when you look at, for a quick example, getting into one of the statin drugs known as Lipitor, which is supposed to be for the lower the cholesterol. And what Lipitor does, it clogs up one of the pathways of the liver that that creates a chemical in the body, which is known as coenzyme Q10. Which coenzyme Q10 is, it's a functionality of the heart. It's a byproduct to help protect the heart. That's what the substance is. And that substance is created by the liver. But what Lipitor does, in order to block the cholesterol, it blocks the pathway of coenzyme Q10, which is actually to protect the heart, man. So we see from these different things, that Esau create these medicines not purposely to try to cure you or to try to heal you, but there's deception. Okay, it's just deception. You temporarily alleviating one problem, but it's creating 10 or 13 or more problems more on you. That's why when you see these commercials, they're saying, be careful, the effects are nausea, this, and the third, man. But Lord willing, through the Spirit, I'll come, after this with a series, of alternative methods and alternative ways, of using the herbs to combat, the modern medicines of Esau, that could be helpful for brothers, Lord willing, as we continue every day. That way brothers don't have to be so susceptible to using these things and feel as though that they actually have to go to Esau's medicine, But first and foremost, all things are always done by prayer. So, with that, I just hope this segment was edifying. And, the next chapter of this will be AED, alternatives to Esau drugs. Okay, so with that, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, YAHAWASHI. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And Shalawam to the elect out there doing this work of faith and labor of love, truth, sincerity. Shalawam.